Welcome to Orthodox World This Week, Orthodox News in Digital Space. I'm your host, Abel Matthew Sachs. Let's see what happened in the Orthodox world last week. Macedonian Orthodox delegation welcomed in Serbia. Reconciliation liturgy held. A high-level delegation under the leadership of Metropolitan Stefan of the Macedonian Orthodox Church was welcomed in Belgrade by the patriarchs, bishops, clergy, and faithful of the Serbian Orthodox Church on 19th of May 2022. A reconciliation liturgy was celebrated in the capital city at the Cathedral of Saint Sava. Archbishop Jovan of Ohrid of the Serbian Patriarchate was in attendance as well. The Serbian Orthodox Church have recognized the canonical status of the Macedonian Orthodox Church. The Council of Bishops of the Churches of Serbia in a recent session resolved to accept Macedonian Orthodox Church Ohrid Archbishopric back to communion. It was also revealed that the Macedonian Orthodox hierarchy have accepted their previous canonical status, which was granted in 1959. The Macedonian Church will have full internal independence in its administration and decision-making. It was also announced that the Church of Serbia will continue to hold dialogue with the Macedonian Church to arrive at a final status regarding its status. Arrangements will be made to rearrange the diocese of the Serbian Church in northern Macedonia. Moreover, the Serbian Church does not restrict the Macedonian Church regarding the scope of its jurisdiction. The first hierarch, Metropolitan Hilarion of Russian Orthodox Church outside Russia, enters eternal rest. Metropolitan Hilarion of Eastern America and New York, the first hierarch of the Russian Orthodox Church outside Russia, has entered eternal rest on 16th May 2022 at the age of 74. He passed away in a hospital in New York. The late Metropolitan was consecrated as the head of the Russian Orthodox Church outside Russia on 18th of May 2008. The Russian Orthodox Church outside Russia as a semi-autonomous part of the Russian Orthodox Church Moscow Patriarchate. The Russian Orthodox Church outside Russia was established as an independent church in 1920. However, on 17th of May 2007, an official act of canonical communion was signed with the Moscow Patriarchate, thereby establishing communion with the rest of Eastern Orthodox churches. His funeral will be conducted on 22nd May at Holy Trinity Monastery in Jordanville. Archimandrite Oskan Kulikian elected the new spiritual head of Armenian Orthodox community in Iraq. Archimandrite Oskan Kulikian has been elected as the new spiritual head of the Armenian Orthodox community in Iraq on 13th May 2022. The Armenian Diocese of Iraq falls under the jurisdiction of the Mother See of Holy Echiarcine, which has at least 10 functioning churches. Pope Francis, a Russian friend and singer Cassian Savalenta, says Patriarch Kirill is unpopular. Cassian Savalenta, the Russian Kurdish opera singer and a friend of Pope Francis, in a recent interview stated that Patriarch Kirill is not a popular figure in Russia and that even among the bishops suffered in silence. She also stated that comments by Pope Francis on Putin and Patriarch Kirill are correct. She also urged that the Vatican should hold a summit US, Russian, Ukrainian, Chinese, and NATO leadership. Savalenta and her husband Leonora Savanstanov met Francis in January 2022 in Vatican. The couple have formed a special friendship with the Roman Pontiff. In a recent letter, Pope Francis encouraged her to be an ambassador of peace as well. She has earlier served as the director of St. George Foundation of the Department of External Relations of Moscow Patriarchate. As of now, Savalenta as the president of the World Union of All Believers. Bechir Hermitage Cave included in the list of state-protected monuments in Moldova. The Parliament of Republic of Moldova has decided to include Bechir Hermitage Cave, situated on the edge of Soroco, to be included in the list of state-protected monuments. The cave will be converted, restored, and protected by the state mechanism. The Hermitage Cave is located in the Soroco, which is situated on the Dniester River, about 160 kilometers north to Shindkhun. Although the cave is visible, access to cell is very difficult. due to the height over 6 meters above ground level. The name Bechira Cave was given by the locals of the area. Bechira is the name of a monk who would have taken refuge in the rock a few centuries ago. However, its antiquity remains an enigma for researchers. It is believed that the cave was erected between 8th and 9th centuries. According to the research by historian Val Gimpu, he also warns of the danger of the destroying this historic monument if it is not protected and restored. The 2022 Middle East Council of Churches General Assembly concludes, renounces violence as fanaticism and discrimination. The most important decision issued at the closing ceremony of the Middle East Council of Churches in Egypt as follows. The renouncing violences and fanaticism of all kinds and forms, rejecting extremism, terrorism, exclusion, and discrimination based on religion, race, color, gender, and others. And second one, the solidarity with the marginalized and vulnerable refugees and displaced persons, and an appeal to officials and international community to work for their return in their land. Third, respecting the freedom of beliefs, consolidating the values of citizenship and a common life with Muslim brothers with whom we share a mutual respect. And fourth, supporting churches and believers in Jerusalem, the duty to preserve holy places and reminding the international community and the peoples of the world to importance of their strengthening the Christian presence in the city of peace. And fifth, urging officials and decision makers to work hard to address the crisis rampant in the various countries of our Middle East region, especially deteriorating economic situation, in order to put up an end to the suffering that burdens people, which requires a pause of consciousness to uphold the common interest above all consideration. The General Assembly stressed that the Christian presence in the core of the entity of the East and the Christians have made a great contribution to the building their countries and prosperity, and they will remain rooted in this land and as a genuine partners in the renaissance and building its present and future, no matter how intensified the storms and challenges are. In the closing session, the General Assembly elected 4 presidents representing the 4 ecclesial families in the Middle Eastern Council of Churches. The General Assembly also elected the members of the new Executive Committee and concluded its work by confirming the election of the Secretary General of the Council, Dr. Michael Abs, who had been elected by the Executive Committee at its meeting in the Beirut, Lebanon on September 18, 2020. And the President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi received at the Federal Palace the heads of churches participating in the General Assembly of the Middle East Council of Churches on 17th May 2022. The official spokesperson of Presidency of the Republic stated that the President welcomed the attendees in the light of convening of the General Assembly of the Middle Eastern Council of Churches for the first time in Egypt since the establishment of the Council in 1968, stressing that the Christian brothers in all Arab countries are an integral part of the fabric of the entire Arab society. That's all for the week. Thank you for watching Orthodoxy Cooking Feeds. Hope to see you in the next week.